All right, hello Leos, and welcome to your May 2021 reading. I, of course, am Rachel Navy, aka Villagio Strega. For those of you who do not know me or want to go stalk me on Facebook, that's where to find me. All my information is either linked in the description below or the About section of my channel. So, that said, Leo, we're a little bit of a week behind here, but that's okay. You're meant to see this when you're meant to see this anyways. I'm still going to do all 4 weeks for you guys. Look at the bottom 5 and then clarify each week up with at least one card. See what we get. And then I'm going to be doing extended readings with the Oracle cards. So your Crystal card energy, your Archangel, your Goddess deck, maybe a Medicine card for some, or an animal spirit totem for another, that kind of thing. We'll take a look. Whatever I get the nudge to do is what we'll do. And for those of you who do not know my reading style, of course, I take the flippers, I take the jumpers, and then I clarify that up with kind of an intuitive nudge, whether it heats up under my hand or not, as a yes, or a very cold energy of a no, to clarify whether it's upright, reverse, or where it's supposed to be placed usually. And go figure, now the rabbit's running around outside. So don't be surprised if we hear the dog bark here in a moment. The dog, of course, is Snow, the Great Pyrenees. The senior rabbit's out, I see. Starting out the month, some of you may have been dealing with an Aries energy. Could be time frame of Aries still even. For some of you, but dealing with the challenge of authority. Father figure, perhaps, for many of you. Someone who deals with rules, regulations, civilizations. Got the Emperor card energy, and he, of course, is that lovely, energetic ruler who wants the law and order aspect of things, who wants not only the authority, but keeps that kind of things, man's law in order, is really what that was about. So some of you may have been dealing with legal issues, authority figures, lawyers, attorneys. Some of you, again, could have been dealing with a father figure about what's appropriate within a domain, structural things, architectural designs, all that kind of stuff. Yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? Okay. Yes or no? No. Okay. The advice for that week, and by the way, I'm doing your challenger advice, your potential outcomes here, Leo, for each week. Your advice for week 1 for May is the Queen of Wands energy. She is a very vital, very creative, very passionate, goes after what she wants, has a lot of drive, has a lot of vision kind of energy. So it could be that things were like, yeah, you got the King and the Queen. I'll show you here in just a moment. The King and the Queen that week. So something in regards to you pursuing something you're really passionate about, transforming some sort of energy, and perhaps tying up some legal ends to make that happen is really what I'm seeing. We'll revisit that here in just a moment. Week 2, we've got the Justice card energy out, the Knight of Swords, the Moon card. Week 3, we're starting out with the 4 of Cups. Let's find their advice, please, for what's next. What's the advice card for week 3? Advice and potential outcome, week 3. It's like they're thinking. Energy is thinking. Okay, we'll take that. 6 Cups. Potential outcome. 2 Wands. 1 more to go. What is challenge yet? Okay. Page of Wands. Advice. What's the advice for week 4? Chariot card energy. Beautiful. Good month for Leo. Keep in mind, guys, too, where I think it's Taurus moon, money moon's happening as of tonight. Money moon should be prevalent here in our lives. This is the month of prosperity. Taurus season's about prosperity. And the money moon is definitely seeing that return on investment. Bottom of the deck, guys, we've got the Queen of Swords energy. Okay, so we know there's some tough love vibes going around. But let's go back to week 1 here with that Emperor. Emperor card energy again. Fatherly figure, dealing with structure, dealing with legal matters, perhaps. I'm saying it's maybe something like you're pursuing, because we have both the Queen and the King coming out here. Now, 2 court cards definitely could be, again, authority aspect to things, but they're both wands. So this to me is like really truly going after something it is you desire, something it is you're really passionate about here, Leos. Not backing down and pursuing a dream. Definitely a partnership. There's a very honorable married couple here between the two of them, as they're both well known for their commitment to each other. She's very pretty in the face. Again, vitality, passion, drive, strategy, leadership. This is your potential outcome here is the King of Wands. He's all about the leadership and the transformation. It's kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes, really, this first week for you guys. Or it's kind of like you have this burst of energy, maybe this burst of insight that says, oh, wait a minute, I have this idea, I want to put it into action, I want to see what can come of this. And it's like she's telling him, like, hey, let me whisper in your ear for a minute here, bud. I got this idea, I got this, what do you think of this? Like, I really want to make this happen. And he says, yes, let's go for it. Let's make it happen. And again, I'm sensing like some tying up of loose ends for many of you. Definitely dealing with an individual's over the age of 35. She is saying, I've got the ideas. He's saying, let's go for it. I'll make up the plans. Emperor is saying, okay, let's make sure we do this right. Let's make sure we do this in accordance to law kind of energy. What week 2 is about for you, challenges the Justice card energy. I think I said it already, but Emperor is Aries. And don't forget, guys, that the major arcanas are really the more important cards to take into consideration. The rest of it's kind of everyday stuff, but when you see that Roman numeral, when you know it's a major arcana card, those are the big things Spirit wants you to know. So Justice card energy, of course, you could be ending a karmic cycle. You're bringing things back into balance is really what the challenge is. And you also could be dealing with a Libra energy. Now, whether this is Libra time frame that we see these sort of actions go into place, although I don't think so, you are definitely swiftly responding to this. Why do I say that? Because you have the Knight of Swords out. He's that fast-moving, sometimes insensitive, sometimes very rash, very harsh, because he knows what he wants. He's got the plans to do it. He's got his mind made up. He's going after what it is that he wants. Her energy here, Justice energy here, is like, how does this all come into balance? She wields the sword of truth, right? So I can definitely see some of you Leos, here it is in week 1. I have this idea. I have something I'm passionate about. I want to go after it. Week 2 is a little bit different. Week 2, it's like, okay, I want my truth. I want this authentic. I want this balance in place. And it's as though Spirit's saying, like, you better do it quick. You better do it now. But don't be too thoughtless or reckless in your energy because of this guy, because you don't want to stampede over other people who may be trying to help you or skip a step in the process for many of you. What's your potential outcome? You have the Moon card energy. That's that psychicness, that intuition, that inner homing device, as it were. It's also another card of hopes and dreams. Often there's dog energy here, and it's also another card of bringing things back into balance. Why? Because something is revealed to you, something you hadn't seen, something that's illuminated in the depths, whether it's the subconscious of the waters. It's kind of like that knowing feeling versus something being revealed, something being brought to light. It could be an enemy of sorts, but it could be just some sort of internal nudge that says, no, I want to do this way, or I get a good feeling or a gut feeling about this, that, or the other. But swords, of course, represent our thoughts, our ideas, sometimes our emotions with it. So whether it's not being too hasty or moving swiftly towards an action, make sure your intention is good, week 2. Make sure your thoughts are very clear, and recognize that you're ending one thing in order to bring about something else. Week 4, and definitely listen to your intuition that week. Week 3, rather. Your challenge is to recognize that something more is being handed to you. You may be fixated, Leo, on the emotional stuff that's like the everyday stuff that you just see, you're comfortable with, right? This is kind of indicating to you to step out of your comfort zone and take that emotional fulfillment, that cup that's being offered to you. This is going to satisfy you, and it's going to bring you peace of mind. If you're so fixated on like being bored with what you have, you're not going to see what else maybe the situation has to offer. Now, if this is your romantic side we're dealing with in week 3, you could have a friend returning from the past. This is the 6 of Cups energy. Pardon me. 6 of Cups is childhood nostalgia, of course. It's about those returning friends from the past. It's about, it's also about like dealing with our own children, as some of you Leos do have children. And what emotionally satisfies you about them, as much as it is what emotional satisfaction comes from parenting, comes from that childlike energy. Try not to spend too much time there, but definitely recognize that Spirit's kind of giving you the nudge in week 3 to have a little bit more playfulness in your life, to remember when you were a child indeed. And, when like, you get the nudge to do the board game, or you get the nudge to do, I don't know, something, blow bubbles, something you did as a kid, absolutely take it, and you're looking at things from the past. For some of you, this could be a returning relationship too. No union quite yet, though. We have the 2 of Wands energy. Yeah, that's your potential outcome. It's kind of like, what do I control here? What's my domain? What is attainable versus what is my resource? This one's chained to the stone wall here. This is what this individual knows they have in backup. This is what they know they have for resources that they can work with. Because again, here's a wand. Those ideas are bursting through it. That's what those leaves on a wand or a stave represent, is those ideas we have, or passions we have rather. But she's looking out, she's surveying the land as much as she is like holding that globe and looking at that and taking into consideration, like, what do I consider my world? What are my opportunities within it as I make a decision to move forward on a situation? Now, it's a 2 card, so we know that there's a choice involved, right? There's a decision that needs to be made. It of course, is going to be something relevant to your emotions and perhaps something from your past as well. But as we look at this, what is attainable kind of energy, and often this is depicted with roses and white lilies around it, signifying the rebirth and a purity of an intention or a situation here, Leo. It's a matter of you're not quite there yet. You're still kind of coming up with some sort of new plan or something else before you put it into action, before you pursue it. And again, if this is a relationship you were considering, a new one perhaps, this is not the go-ahead card with that. It's going to take a little moment for that. I got a feeling it's more about those thoughts and ideas. Again, more desires, more creative sparks that some of you are having. Because in week 4, the challenge is to really hone in on 1 or 2 of them alone. So you may find, Leo, that you have so many ideas, that you have so much creative potential, that you have so much passion in all that you pursue. But sometimes it's like you're gathering the supplies to create or to manifest them, but then you're just kind of sitting there and thinking of the next thing without finishing a project or finishing what it is you started in the first place. This page in particular, yes, he symbolizes something new because he's a page. Often this is under the age of 35 years of age you could be dealing with as well. But this particular individual needs some counsel. They need some help, like kind of filtering a sounding board, as it were, filtering out all the thoughts they're having so that way they can take the appropriate action towards them. In other words, they need to narrow it down a little bit, is really the challenge, and then put them into action in order to see them succeed, because they will. Why do I say that? Because you have the Chariot card next. Some of you are maybe picking up a new car towards the end of the month here. Good time to do it. It's the end of the month, guys. but it's also about bringing things to balance, as much as it is about the race or victory you've just had. Taking that moment of pause, Cancer energy too, by the way, taking that moment of pause to reflect on the pros and cons of how it is you got here. Now we see that same kind of energy picked up with the Justice card, and really weighing out the thoughts and putting things into action, and using your intuition in weeks 1 and 2 here, in particular, as well as the end of week 3 with your potential outcome with that 2 of Wands energy. This is more of like, okay, I've filtered through things here, right? I've weighed everything out. I've made a choice. Whatever choice you're making is victorious, though. You've got to keep that in mind. What's your potential outcome is a little bit of emotional stability. Yes, a little bit more of peace of mind, but a compassionate listener nonetheless. This is the Queen of Cups energy. She is very psychic. She comes with a lot of wisdom. She's definitely a feminine energy over the age of 35. And she's very kind. She's very loving. She's very supportive. So you yourself, while you may be seeking counsel, some of you may be the counselor with an individual such as this Page of Wands energy. You may be the one helping rather than receiving the help. Or, it could be you yourself seeking counsel from a wise elder. Could be seeking counsel from a mother figure, from an aunt, from a close friend, loving partner, something along those lines. Let's see what's in store with the bottom 5. Leo, have the tough love with all her wisdom, sometimes sour, Queen of Swords energy. Why is she sour? Because she's been through a lot of trials and tribulations already. That's where her wisdom comes from. It's experiential knowledge. In that regard, she's got a wall up. She's kind of like, don't feed me your bullshit. Come to me with your truest intentions. Speak your truth, right? That's definitely her energy. She's not afraid to do it. Why should you be? And if there is a situation this month that it looks like, maybe there's some impulsivity, maybe you're dealing with somebody who's a little undecided, maybe you yourself are kind of like scattered in a way, she says, no, be upfront, be clear in your intentions, and tough love it for a moment. What's coming into you is the Ace of Wands. The rest of this is nice. What's coming to you is the Ace of Wands. Yes, that's that new opportunity. That's entrepreneurship. That's enterprise. That's passion. That's desires. That's that lusty moment with the new one kind of energy, right? That we love to see in the Ace of Wands. It's a divine gift as well as this. Here comes that peace of mind, that tranquility. Remember I said it's bringing things back into balance here. It's that moment of pause and reflection. It's ending of one cycle to begin a new one. Yes, that's going to bring you a lot more emotional stability, comfort, support, peace of mind, tranquility in your life. What is it without a little conflict here and there, though? Because we have the 5 of Wands energy. Lots of wands coming out for you guys. Wands and swords seem to be the big things on top of the major arcanas. Wands, of course, this conflict is something that is just a little miscommunication, nothing that can't be solved with clarifying things up and a good conversation, a good talk to remedy this little conflict. And, of course, you have the Scorpio card of death. What is it? Well, it's about transformation. It's about honoring what was in pursuit of something new, what is to be, that bright future. You can't have this. You can't have these new beginnings, right, without an ending of another, right? Scorpionic energy in and of itself, pardon me. Scorpio energy tends to be very intense, first of all. We know that Scorpios, they are the most deepest loving next to Cancers. All the water signs really love deeply Leo. This could be a time frame, too, I'm feeling, for November, October, November, as well, for maybe the total completion of this, for this new thing really settling into that. Or again, just could be dealing with that individual. But you can definitely anticipate this transformation being a powerful and very intense one throughout its process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give you the 6th card anyways, just because it's calling to me, and that's the 10 of Cups. There's emotional satisfaction. All that blessings and abundance on top of it. Let's clarify each week with one card each from the Light and Shadow. And for those interested, I'm reading from Los Scarabaeos Tarot Mucha to start this. Yeah, there's that death card energy again. We've got the Endless Dance of Death. First card out for you. Another Scorpio card. Again, transformation, and we see that. That is exactly what that King of Wands is all about. He's the Phoenix rising. He's the one, like, out of the ashes, out of the fire and the ashes. Here comes this beautiful bird, this rebirth. Definitely was something you are creating, and you're so passionate about it, Leo. What are you creating? Leave me a comment below for you Leos or you Leo cross watchers, or maybe it's your rising sign or your moon sign. Remember, if you're reading from your moon sign, if you're reading from your moon sign, it's going to be more of an emotional reading. If you're reading from your rising sign, it's going to be more fixated on your finance, your everyday stuff, day-to-day things. Knight of Swords came out again. So these are the major themes for these weeks. These are clarifying. Knight of Swords energy again. Risk-taking. Very keen intellect, very cold temperament, very action-oriented, very goal-oriented, but very, very clear in intention. Yes, goes after what they want very swiftly, very, very fast-moving. See, clarify week 3, but can also be reckless and insensitive. Okay, so week 3 we see the card. Remember I said, childhood nostalgia. You're trying to figure out what's attainable versus what are your resources. You've got some cup being offered to you, especially emotionally, to comfort you. Maybe it's the result of this Knight of Swords energy, because you've also got the end of the karmic cycle, truths, confronting those truths, especially to ourselves, and the moon card energy out the previous week. So you're ending up with a 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is the card of insomnia. It's the card of worries, anxiety, fears, doubts. Sometimes heartbreaks in there, of course, but what it's really saying is to let go of those worries, those things that keep you up at night. Here, Leos, in this particular instance, worry might be wasteful for many of you. Now, it's not that it doesn't have its purpose, because it absolutely does. It's just not something. There's just some things you can do to fix a situation, because there was the conflict card there too. And then sometimes you just got to let things go and not burden yourself with the emotional drama of it all. So allow those thoughts to come, yes, but then acknowledge them and let them go, so you can get a good night's sleep. You don't want to be up all night worrying about things. Lastly, you have the Devil card energy. Capricorn in nature, could be dealing with a Capricorn or Capricorn time frame, December, January. This is about things that tempt us, yes, but it's also about letting go of self-limiting beliefs. So here you are, right? Here you are in your victory dance. There's your Chariot card energy, and here are you thinking about things and thinking to the point you can't even sleep anymore, right? In week 3. Maybe it's that childhood friend or nostalgia that pops up. But in week 4, you're like, okay, I get this. Everything that's chaining me and holding me back, I can manage that. I am determined. I am perseverant. I am ready to make this happen. Maybe I need to talk it out with somebody, yes. But if I look back and I think about what it is that got me to this place, I understand it better. I'm able to fully realize what it is I have, what it is I desire, what it is I need to be successful. Devil card energy, as it were. Yes, is the persistence card. Yes, it's the temptation card. Materialism, being attached to our materialism, alcoholism, addiction issues, food, sex, spending, whatever it is. You can easily be chained to those things, but they're false fulfillments, Leo. So the devil is there to remind us, like, hey, I can lure you in with these things, but it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to go down that road repeatedly, and keep spending, or wasting your time on things, or you're going to be determined to succeed. Let go of those chains, those things that really limit you in your full potential or not, right? That's what the Devil card's out for. I'm going to start with our crystal card to set the tone for your extended reading, and I hope to see you all there. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I wish you the best, Leo. So let's see what, well, that was easy. Let's see what is in store. I've got a few out here, so let me just yes or no these guys. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, we are going with Rhodonite. Very nice. That's actually what used to be in my ring here. It was a nice piece of Rhodonite. Nonetheless, go with your heart, Leo, of course. What is it? It's a palette of deep pink and black. Rhodonite gets its name from the Greek word for rosy. Who needs a potential wasters? Those deeply sighing, I hate my job types. Sagittariuses. Where to put it against your open heart, of course, begging the universe to tell you what WTF you should be doing with your life. When to use it, we're going to find all that out here in the extended reading. Blessed be, Leos.